Live from the City of Angels, breaking news, Thursday afternoon, 3:30 here in LA, and it is just in. Paramount is going to win the war for Warner Brothers, and yes, we are stoked. Why? As we get into details here, come into the comments, join us on YouTube or X. Either way, I'll get to as many as possible. Here's why we love the deal, because we are all about theatrical. It's why this channel was started, right? Going to the movie theaters, and there's no question that Paramount owning Warner Brothers is a better situation for movie theaters than Netflix, regardless of what Ted Sarandos spilled out there saying, I'm going to stick to a window, all this nonsense. Netflix doesn't care about movie theaters, and that's why we're the winners here today with Paramount, as they have increased their bid and they are set to take over. We'll get a timeline here. I guess in the next several weeks. This has been a really long process, as you guys know. We've been talking about this for months upon months. I mean, you asked me what would be the ideal situation. Obviously, not to have a sale at all. Therefore, we wouldn't lose jobs, right? What's going to happen, like any merger, you're going to see a bunch of people that lose their jobs, okay? That's the reality of it. But when you look at the lesser of two evils, it's Paramount. I'm not going to get into the geopolitical crap here today. I am only talking about movie theaters and putting films in theaters. And this is why we are all for Paramount winning here. As you can see, thanks for joining us live on MMT. We have a double live stream today. I'm going to do this now, and then we're back tonight for Scream 7 Reacts right out of theater. Let's go to the article from THR. And we'll scroll through all the trades, and we'll get all of the factual information as we have it here. Again, a little after 3:30 here in Los Angeles. You can see THR, Netflix backs out of Warner Brothers bidding, Paramount set to win. We go to Deadline, and we get their headline. That's all, folks. Netflix walks away from Warner Brothers, refusing to raise offer. And then we go to Variety. It's over. Netflix declines to raise bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. Let's go and read THR because it's red and it matches our graphics today. A little round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, not only for the graphics overlay you see here today, but also for the fact that I was able to jump in the chair within seconds, 20 minutes, of this news breaking, and I'm not doing a video. I'm not doing 1,000 edits. We're doing this live, okay? Because that's how we do it on MMT. Let's go through it and read what THR has by Alex Weprin. In a stunning twist, Netflix declining to raise its bid for Warner Brothers, positioning David Ellison's Paramount as the winner in the battle for the fabled studio. Netflix co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters released a statement Thursday outlining their decision, namely that the deal is, quote, no longer financially attractive, and that it was always nice to have at the right price, but not a must-have at any price. The transaction we negotiated would have created shareholder value with a clear path to regulatory approval. However, we've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match the bid, and we are applauding. You guys, you need to be with me on this. I don't want to get into the politics because that's not what we do. Objectively, for theaters, this is the better option. There's not a debate. We're not going to have a debate. Don't even come in here with that nonsense. Netflix hates movie theaters. Clearly, I don't care what Sarando said about a 45-day window. We're going to keep those. And, well, now we're in the theatrical. Yeah, that dude is all about doublespeak, and we are not. You need to be in on theatrical. That's all that we are founded on here. And you know that Paramount is, okay? And we haven't seen what Ellison's able to do as he just took over months ago. We'll see what happens going forward. But as you look here, the statement continues from Netflix. Warner Brothers is a world-class organization. We want to thank David Zaslav and the rest of the crew for running a fair and rigorous process. we believe we would have had strong stewards of Warner Brothers iconic brands and then like removed their movies from movie theaters. Listen, let's talk. You guys remember when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox and now it's 20th Century Studios? What went down? And this is what's going to happen with Paramount too, okay? I'm not telling you that Warner Brothers is going to remain unscathed. There's a number of people that will be out. They'd be out if Netflix took the studio or if Paramount took the studio. So that's not something that you can avoid in any kind of merger. People are going to get axed. But you look at what happened with 20th Century Fox, having been to that lot before the Disney sale and after the Disney sale, it's a ghost town. I hope that doesn't happen with Warner Brothers. But you talk about not only the loss of jobs, you talk about the loss of films. 20th Century used to put out at least 15 movies a year. I don't have the numbers over the years, but let's just call it roughly 15, 12 at a minimum, one a month, okay? Now they're down to 3, 4. So with Netflix, I guarantee you that slate would have been reduced further than what Paramount is going to do. Obviously, this is a win for someone like a Tom Cruise, who signed the deal with Warner Brothers, who's all about theatrical, who obviously had that deal with Paramount. You look at Top Gun Maverick. You look at Mission Impossible. This all fits together. And from a theatrical standpoint, this is the best possible outcome. End of discussion. I'll hit your comments, but I'm telling you, I know, and you know, that I'm correct. With Netflix out, Paramount's latest bid is almost a sure thing to be accepted by the Warner's board, which determined earlier Thursday that it was a superior proposal to Netflix's deal that came out earlier today. They like the more cash. I mean, listen, it's a bunch of greed at the end of the day. I just wish they didn't have to sell it, because when you lose any studio, you lose another producer of theatrical. And going back to Fox, 20th Century doesn't put out the movies like I just detailed that they used to. So now you've got a similar situation. And the thing about Warner Brothers, and I would even argue 20th Century back in the day, you look at them being amongst the riskiest studios. I think Warner Brothers is, and I've said this for many years, the single most risk-taking studio out there. What does that mean? That means that they're making films like Joker. Now, listen, I know that a lot of you have an issue with Joker. It's King of Comedy meets Taxi Driver. We're not doing that. What I'm here to tell you is this. No other studio would have taken the DC brand and let Todd Phillips do what he did to Joker, but Warner Brothers. So we need to keep that mentality intact. Zaslav is not even a creative, right? He is a money guy. This dude's going to buy a bigger yacht with this cash. I don't even know why dude needs more money, but yet here he is going to make another financial windfall on this. We need someone in position. I think Ellison is more suited for this. You just look at his background. I think he loves movies. I think he definitely is behind theatrical. You're talking about you need someone in a position of power, and Zaslav wasn't the guy, who has the mindset creatively, not business, creatively, to make the best possible product, the most compelling product, to take chances like a Minecraft. Listen, Minecraft is a film that works. It's the weirdest interpretation of that film you can imagine. That's what we need. We need more of that. We need more Jokers, more Minecrafts. Well, Warner Brothers did that, okay? Sinners, not a huge fan, as you guys know, but I do love the, as the phrase goes, big swing of that film. And again, Warner Brothers says, go, let them cook. Disney's not that studio. They just don't do those kind of risky things. And that's why we really have to have Warner Brothers product continue on, even if it is now part of the Paramount family. It's a better position. Latest proposal, $31 per share, a number of other sweeteners, including a ticketing fee payable to shareholders equal to 25 cents per quarter. This is all financial news. I don't give a shit. Okay, guys, this is not, you're not watching CNBC right now. You're talking to a guy who grew up going to movie theaters in Columbus, Ohio, and I want to keep that experience going as we get news of more and more theaters going down the tubes. iPick now saying we're out. Certainly in Atlanta, I wouldn't doubt here in LA in the near future. AMC shutting down a number of locations. We've talked about this over the past several months. We are in a bad state when it comes to theatrical because theatrical cannot survive on tentpoles only every few months. Hey, here is Avengers Doomsday. Here's Spider-Man. Here's whatever the big film is. And then there's nothing, right? Scream 7 will end up being about 50 million or more maybe this weekend, even with the reviews the way they are, because we haven't had a big film for a while. And that always pushes that next film up because people are like, I'm ready to go back to the movie theaters. But theaters need big films. Often, we need windows reinstalled. And I can promise you this, you guys know this, that our boy Sarandos was bullshitting with that 45-day window. He's just saying it to get the deal through. Paramount will agree to a 45-day window. You go back and you look at Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun Maverick had a 120-day window, okay? So that is what we need. We need more windows. Now, some of you are going to say, what does a window matter? Oh, I can tell you, because what you do is you are establishing to the audience that if you want to see this film, you got to wait. We're not giving it to you right now. We're going to give it to you in 3 months, the old 90-day window. But because CEOs like Adam Aron, AMC, Cinemark, and Regal, they didn't combine together and use the leverage they had back in 2023 to get Windows reinstalled, now the best you can be able to do, the very best, is a 45-day window. I told you guys I would have gotten that done years ago because you play hardball. If you're AMC, Regal, and Cinemark, you team up together and you say, here's what we're doing. You got a 45-day window no matter what. And if you don't agree to this, then we are going to not show your movies. You have to take a hard line in the sand. You just draw it. It's there. We're 45 days. We need that. And I think we're going to get that more with a Paramount, certainly than Netflix, regardless of what Sarandos says. Sarandos is a dude who's going to say whatever it takes, okay, to make this deal happen. So, yes, 120 billion% better deal here today. We're bringing some comments here on this Thursday afternoon. Thanks for being here live. If you've never watched MMT, I appreciate the patronage. If you're watching on X, hopefully we're there. If not, on YouTube, either way, when we go live, subscribe and you'll get the notifications. Later tonight, Scream 7, out of theater reaction, about 9 o'clock here in LA. That's midnight on the East Coast. I'll get to some comments here. I think we did a great job getting through all that. That's a lot of, I'd love to have a 90-day window, Coach. It's not going to happen. Listen, the problem is leverage, right? You had leverage in 2023. When you go back to Barbenheimer, you look at that time period. That was a huge summer, and that was when you go in with leverage. In any negotiation, you got to have leverage, right? The leverage was people are in theaters. And we have seen that start to erode over the past several years. The reason we had that uptick in 2022, 23 was post-COVID, right? That was when we were told if you go to the movie theaters, everyone's going to die. And after people got over that and started going back to movie theaters, it was a novel experience in a way for a lot of people. Because of that, you got that bump where films actually perform better than they would have pre-COVID. But now what we're seeing is we are seeing films come in under where they should be, certainly back in 2019, 18, 17. And the only way to get that back is to install a window. Now, I'm not suggesting that if all of a sudden you put a 45-day window on a film that no one wants to see, that's going to prop that film up. That's not, you guys, you got to think big picture. When you give people the knowledge that this is now going to be installed, that you have to wait, then you're going to get people that are on the fence, off the fence, and into the movie theater because they want to be part of the first wave of discussions of a film. It's always wild to me, because I see films on Thursday night when they open. It's so wild when I see people commenting on a film that's like 3 months old because finally it's digital, it's free. I mean, it's fine. You can do that. But I really feel like, as being a staunch theatrical supporter, that those opinions just don't matter as much. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest, because you weren't there supporting it in theaters, I know some of you are hurting financially. I get it. Okay. But if you are a single person, you have to have AMC A-list. Like, there's no, as long as there's an AMC near you, Regal Unlimited, $28 a month for AMC. I think Regal's less. 4 movies a week, 16 movies a month. IMAX, Dolby, 3D, whatever format you want. It's all included. You can't lose. And this is, listen, that's going to continue if we get Windows reinstalled. But if we do not, and we allow studios like Universal, let me go ahead and attack them. You talk about a studio who dumps things on digital. I mean, during 2022, 23, you look at day and date. Warner Brothers was doing that, right? That means it was in theaters and at home at the same time. Come on, man. If you give people the option to watch it at home or go to a theater, then they're going to pick the home option. And I'm not suggesting that there aren't some shitty behaved people out there. I'm lucky. I go to AMC Burbank, the number 1 AMC on the planet. And whenever I go there, you're talking about a lot of industry and cinephilic folks because we're in LA. It's a different mindset. If you live in Dayton, in Wichita, in Indianapolis, come in with wherever that's not a cinephilic area. Regular flyover America, as they say, where I grew up. It's not the same. People just don't have the same reverence for cinema. Therefore, you got people on their phones. You got all that shit. And that sucks, okay? I've been in that position. I have berated people who are on their phones. Ask anybody who's been in a theater with me. I will full on get ready to throw fists because I'm not for that. It's very rude. If you're checking your phone real quick and it's on the lowest brightness and you're like, yeah, okay, that's one thing for 2 seconds. If you're sitting on your phone and you are Instagramming and messaging, get the fuck out of the theater. Just leave, okay? But people have no respect for others. The world revolves around them. So if that's your issue, then I get it, man. I don't want to deal with that either. I'm lucky I don't have to. At least I'm being forthright and honest about this discussion. But, going back to this sale here, and I'll get to some more comments here, is, listen, there's no debate. This is the better outcome of the two. I told you what the best outcome would be, to have no sale whatsoever and install a new head other than Zaslav to get this shit going again at Warner Brothers. But they really turned it around. They turned it around. You go back to last year, we had that beginning of the year with a Mickey 17 border. I mean, this is an unwatchable film. If you guys have not seen Mickey 17, trust me when I say you are a lucky son of a bitch. Oh my God. Bong destroys all the goodwill he created with the arguably masterpiece Parasite with the unwatchable Mickey 17. If you can get through that dinner scene about 45 minutes through, you're bigger than the person who got up the guy next to me and left and said, I'm out of here. Probably didn't come back to the movies for 6 months. But they turned it around after that. Minecraft and Sinners. Huge. So again, back to the importance of Warner Brothers films in the ecosystem of theatrical. Hugely important, okay? More so than Sony. I mean, Sony. Good luck. Name Sony films. You just can't. It's very few. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? There's Spider-Man, obviously. But I'm talking about, films that really move the marketplace. It's Warner Brothers. It's Disney. These are the two, I would suggest, biggest of everybody. And if you start to lose Warner Brothers product, we all really fail. And the theatrical definitely takes a big L. And so this is a huge win today. Let's get to another comment here. I'll get to as many as possible. It's not a win where Paramount would have to pay Netflix $8 billion for breach of contract. I'm not sure if the deal never went through, right? So they're still negotiating. I don't think it fully, I don't know where that stands. Okay. Again, go watch CNBC for that. I'll read one more. I'll read the Variety article here in a second, see if it has any more details. But I mean, all this is breaking right now. This is just more, big picture, right? Listen, we talk about the box office on Sunday morning on Midnight Movie Money. If you want to watch that show, it's every Sunday morning about 9 o'clock here in LA, 12 o'clock on the East Coast. That's live. And we break down all of the weekend's box office, what won, what lost, and look at the worldwide, all that stuff. Okay, that is the business show. That said, I dabble in stocks. Do not ask me to explain all the ramifications of all of a sudden Paramount takes over and Netflix had a deal. Okay, we're not doing that. I'm just talking about the big picture theatrical wins here today. Without a question, none. Let's go and look at, I'm going to go Deadline, because Deadline, it tends to be really specific on their articles and more industry like deep, right? They have a little bit more depth and inside baseball. Let's go look at that right now. And I'll read from that cold. This is my cold reading stream. Let me tell you, can I just get some love here this afternoon, or if evening, wherever you are? Can I get some love for doing cold reads with nary a mistake? That I got through that the entire article with not one slip up, no not no. I mean, come on, guys. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to MMT, this is why we are, say it for me, everybody, the gold fucking standard. Don't forget it. Let's go read. And let's see if I can do another outstanding job of reading an article cold. That's all, folks. Netflix walks away from Warner Brothers, refusing to raise offer. Netflix is thrown in the towel, won't be changing its offer for Warner Bros. To match a rival bid by Paramount. Game-changing news cap several days of action around the bidding war. Warner Bros. Discovery had just determined the latest offer it received from Paramount was superior to the deal it signed with Netflix on December 5th. Netflix had 4 business days to match Paramount's offer, but co-CEOs Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters did not wait. They regretfully took the company out of the running, saying, "We've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal's no longer financially attractive." We just mentioned all of that. Let's see if we get more information here. Netflix investors are relieved. No regrets. Stock is up 10%. And there's the whole gigantic news release. Yeah, we're not going to read that. Okay. So again, back to our breaking news. Paramount wins. We win. This is a very good day for cinema and MMT. One of our favorite days we've ever had here. Breaking news. Let's get to as many comments as possible. I will hit as many as possible. Marvin, appreciate it. Absolutely. I mean, that's the takeaway here today. Long live theatrical, because we can't take any more hits. It's been a rough stretch for movie theaters going back to fall. And I warned you about this a long time ago, guys. You know that. Anyone's watch MMT, I've told you that smaller films are hurting, okay? The tentpoles, the big films, right? Again, the Doomsdays, the Spider-Mans, these things are going to be fine. But the problem is we can't just sustain the ecosystem on those films. We need to have some surprises like a Sinners, like a Minecraft, like we used to get, where you'd get a film that would come in that would be a 4-quad surprise. I mean, GOAT's doing pretty well right now for Sony. Family films tend to do better because, especially when they're spaced out, families are looking for stuff to do. You know, I think it's cold as hell in a lot of part of the United States, like 85 here in LA, by the way. I mean, it is scorching. It's like setting record heat here. But if you're back in the snow and the blizzard, let's get out of the house. Let's go see GOAT. Let's take the family to see something. So I think that we have to, without question, have as many producers of content theatrically as possible, because that's going to benefit. And then that's step 1. Step 2 is windows. But listen, your CEO, I'm telling you, man, I'm so tired of having this fucking discussion. The fact that I've got your CEO, Adam Aaron, who's sitting around making $10+ million a year, and he hasn't gotten shit done. I would have had this done in 2023, and you guys think I'm fucking around. You guys know it. Anyone who's ever watched this channel, I would get on the phone, and we would make it very simple, be a conference call, speaker. Here's what's up. You seen Les Grossman? You seen Tropic Thunder? Here's what we're doing. It's a 45-day window. It's going to be installed starting on, what's the date here right now? It's April 1st. April 1st is going to be your drop dead date, 45 days, April 1st. If you do not abide by that 45-day window, you guys are going to not have your movies play in our theaters. Cool? This is not a negotiation. That's the deal. And thank you. Get back to me here. You guys take your time. I'll give you till the 1st. of April, but that's the deal. Thank you, click, goodbye. That's it. That's how the call goes. That's how you get things done. And listen, we talk, and some of you hate Trump. Listen, I'm not here to say Trump's great, Trump's bad. The one thing I admire about dude is dude says some shit and gets it done. Now, I've already said this, so let me just, to balance that so you guys understand how objective I am. I love to collect my football kit / soccer jerseys. You can see one tonight, Bayern Munich, okay? Brand new, authentic. Thank God I didn't buy this from overseas. I got this off a seller on eBay, and it's legit. But here's the deal. Let me explain what's happening. When you buy something from overseas, Trump has his tariffs. And I have paid as much as $200 for a kit to come and then had to pay more money because of the fucking tariffs. So don't tell me I'm a Trump supporter. That shit sucks. But I'm saying, see, listen, there's nobody in the space who's better at extracting things from whatever it may be, elements we like. Nobody's better. And what I admire about Trump is he says it and he does it. I hate the tariff. It's cost me money. Like every time I get a kit from overseas, I'm paying more cash. But he says what he's going to do, and he does it. And I'm telling you right now, if you put me in charge of theatrical windows, I will have that shit done by April 1st. I've said this for years. This is not new. I can't believe we still have this shit going on. Honest to God, I just can't. I can't believe we haven't gotten a deal done. It's just derelict of duty. You're getting paid $10 million plus a year. How do you not have this done, Adam Aaron? What the fuck are you doing? Like, what is wrong with you? I know he had a stroke. Okay, forget that. Weber's being nasty again. Before the stroke, he didn't get anything done. Okay, it's not post-stroke or pre-stroke or whatever. Well, listen. Listen. Here's what I am going to start a new kit collection. Actually, Instagram, I promise you, every kit will be finally documented on Instagram with pictures all over it, me in it, and then a front and a back. You can say, now listen, I mean, whatever. This is what I actually enjoy these things almost more than half the movies I sit through these days, right? The kits and the graphics package. Wait till you see tonight's graphic package for Scream 7. I spent some time on it. By that, I mean like 5 minutes, but it still looks pretty good. I see a lot of Trump and Weber. They both exercise hard. Yeah, he's in shape, isn't he? But listen, I mean, the reality is that we need people that say what they're going to do and then do it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I don't understand why this is so hard. Who is this here? I can't see this. Ice Cold Juice gifted. Thank you. Appreciate it. Membership. Listen, man. Listen, the stream's fun. I enjoy doing this, especially on days when we have news like this. I mean, if it was the other way around, we'd still do it. I'd just be a lot more negative, which is fine. You know, tonight, I have a feeling I'm going to be really nasty to Scream 7. Not because they fired Melissa Barrera. Because politics do not have a place in film criticism. They don't. And anyone who tells you they do, they are to be disregarded. Completely. You do not enter your personal politics into a film criticism. It just doesn't happen. You can mention it on the side, but it does not, like half these reviews say things like, well, I wanted to like Scream 7, but since they fired Melissa Barrera over the Palestinian, forget it. Just, you're done. You're done. But remember what I told you guys. You need to understand this shit. The film space is full of hard left-wing people. Hard left-wing people don't even realize that they are being political. Okay, that is crazy to believe, but it's probably accurate. Here's the other thing. They also love to virtue signal. Look at me. What's the current thing? Oh, look, I'm so virtuous. This is what I'm going to push. Man, the film space, oh, God, I didn't want to do it. I'm going to end the stream soon because I'm going to start getting nasty. The film space is full of some of the biggest fucking losers on the planet. Sorry, welcome to this is my channel. I'll do what I want. Honest to God, some of the biggest fucking, forget it. I'm not doing it. I'm going to stop. I can't. Every time I even think about some of these people, I just go, they're so dishonest. They're so they're non-objective. They're agenda-driven. I can't stand people like that. It's just like, ugh. Do not be hive-minded. Can I just browbeat a few people out there right now? Don't be hive-minded. It's boring. You're lame. You're disinteresting. Stop. Be objective. You can't be objective. Some idiot on X was telling me that earlier. It's impossible. What are you talking about? Because you're probably hard left. That's why you can't be objective. I find that more than anything. I'm going to be straight up with you before I end the stream. Hard left has a very hard time being objective. Very, very difficult time. It's an illness. You talk about the woke mindset and it being an illness, a virus. I wouldn't argue that. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not suggesting hard right doesn't have issues as well. But I can tell you this, more people that I know that lean right are able to at least come closer to objectivity and being fair about things than the hard left who instantly has to virtue signal and say, oh, well, everything this person does is awful. First of all, everything Trump does is not awful. He has done bad things. Every president has, regardless of what your political affiliation is, Democrat or Republican. The fact that you're unable or unwilling to admit that there are good qualities in people, that's the problem. You got to be able to extract stuff. That's it. That's it. All right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't. Now, here's what we're doing. Now, what we're doing is I'm not even talking about what we're talking about. Objectivity is at the core of journalism. It's something these new influencers who claim to be journalists don't care about. They don't know. And plus, most of them are hard left. I mean, listen, I tell you guys, it's the truth. The film space is profuse with MAGA hard left people. And it's just, they don't even know it, some of them. Or they can't even imagine. I told you that one guy, remember our friend 3 Strands of Hair at the Wrap? He's like, Weber's full MAGA, because I said Civil War is troubling at the end because you just drag the president out and execute him. Weber went full MAGA. Again, we told our friend at the Wrap, by the way, we haven't looked at the Wrap. I told you guys, listen, again, for my friend 3 Strands, you got to worry about the 3 strands of hair on your head, not me. Seriously, stop worrying about me when you're dragging your 3 strands of hair across your head like my Russian teacher in high school. No one was fooled. When the wind blows, it comes off and your cap's exposed. Stop. And you know why I don't see now. You know why I don't have a job with Deadline, Variety, or TH. I don't want to. I couldn't stop doing this. This is what I do. That's how I talk. Is what I do. I'm not going to change. We don't do that. Everything I've said has been fair and objective today. All right, recapping our top story. It looks like Paramount has this thing, and it's a huge win for all of us. If you love theatrical, this is a major W, and we'll discuss it a little bit more tonight. I think we went through the big picture, and that's the most important thing, is that as stewards of theatrical, we are winning with this Thursday afternoon. I'm back tonight with Scream 7 live. Look for that about 9 o'clock here in LA, midnight on the East Coast. And I have a feeling it will not go well for Scream 7, but I'll be objective about it. I promise. That is my sincere and honest approach to every one of these streams, even the people I just flamed. Thanks for being here. See you back tonight on MMT. Peace out.